Hello, welcome back to the Revolution Approved podcast. I'm Jen.
And I am Ken, and this is episode number 9.
9.
We're almost to double digits. That's very exciting. And I think today, or maybe it's not exciting and we're just whatever. Today we're going to talk about, well, first before we talk about stuff, I'm getting ahead of myself because I promised that I would mention that we would appreciate if you would like the videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. That'd be awesome. And Jen, since you're the spearhead of this next thing, why don't you tell everybody about our new venture?
Okay. We have joined forces with a company called TeePublic, T-E-E as in t-shirt. And you can now, if you are so interested, get the official Holistic Revolution logo printed on basically whatever you want. So there will be a link down below. I will link it. It is our specific page under TeePublic's website where you can find everything you need.
Yeah, so we're going to be doing, well, you can get lots of different stuff. You can get stickers and stuff on mugs, and we're going to have tons of different t-shirts and hoodies and
t-shirts and hoodies and tank tops.
Yeah,
and,
everything all manner of swag from the Holistic Revolution. So that is very, very exciting. And today, enough about that. Today we're going to talk about group training.
The good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes, because the last 2 weeks we've been kind of hitting it heavy with some heavy-duty topics. I mean, people, the response has been tremendous. They're just saying, why even have Ken on the podcast? Jen, you should do your own thing. Forget about him. But you have remained loyal, and I appreciate that. And today we are going to talk about group training. So when you hear the word, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
When you hear the word group training or class, what comes to your mind?
Like a specific what type of class?
Sure.
I would think like a spinning or a Zumba or...
Okay, so you think insert specific thing here, like
aerobicize.
Okay, so you think a lot of people have that in their mind, like the Jane Fonda jet. They're all in a jazzercise outfit, right? And they're stepping on steppers and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Okay. In the interest of full disclosure, we don't do any group training here at the Holistic Revolution. And that is because, and I'll throw the heat seeker, since no one likes me and everyone likes you, I'll throw the heat seeker right off the bat. We don't believe in it. I feel like it's an inferior form of fitness.
It can be fun.
Compared to one-on-one training.
Yes, if you are looking for results, let's be fair and say you're not going to find it in a group setting.
Well, individualized results. Okay, because that would be the definition of the group, is that it's not about you.
It's only as good as its weakest link,
yeah,
right? So if you're up towards the top, you're not going to get as much out of it as somebody who is, maybe not as in shape or not as conditioned.
Yes, or at least you shouldn't, because you are correct on that. That is a very good point. If we're talking about properly executing a class, if you want to call it that, in a group environment, it would be geared towards, for lack of a better word, the worst person there. The class, like you're only as strong as your weakest link.
Yes.
Right? So like in our relationship, I'm the weak link. You can only be as strong as my weakness, right? So if that's the way it should be set up. Now, of course, you have lots of things that you could pick from in the fitness universe where basically the thing is the class just revolves around beating the crap out of people for 45 minutes to an hour, and who cares?
Yeah.
Right? So you got that portion of it, but if you were truly trying to be scientific about it, or at least run it professionally, you would have to take that variable into account. I remember many moons ago, when I first started my career, I myself taught a class.
Butts and guts, I think.
Yes, it was and I made it brutally hard on purpose.
Yeah.
And I was gearing it towards a higher level of fitness, a higher level clientele, better fit,
Yeah.
more in shape people, in condition people
And the
for
less
this class.
conditioned people got really upset and quit.
Yes,
and
but
complained
to
and-
my credit though, when I put the class out, I put that out in the notes. Hey, listen, if you're not at this level, this might not be a good option for you
Yeah.
because this is where it's at. So having
Yeah.
different levels, I think would be a more professional approach than saying just like everybody come on in, because
Yeah.
the people at the top aren't going to get what
Anybody
they
who's
need
got
out of it.
$10, come on
Yeah,
in.
and the people at the bottom, it might be too hard. So when we're talking classes, you've already established. Let's read off the list. I mean,
Oh, there's tons of them.
come on, Zumba, spinning, cardio drumming, CrossFit. What else?
Oh, there's a myriad. You can have cardio kickboxing. You
Ah,
can have
yes, we forgot about that.
Bikini boot camp.
Yeah, we forgot about that.
Butts and guts. You could
Yeah.
have arms and, I don't know, guns and, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah, sure.
Whatever kitschy title you
Yeah,
want to
yeah.
give, like body part splits.
Yeah.
Now, I would be willing to say that we don't want to necessarily say group classes are bad or wrong, because they're not. They can be fun. Maybe you enjoy them. Maybe you just like being part of a group atmosphere and you get motivated by having a class. Maybe you like the music. Maybe you like the atmosphere. You like the people. You know, all your friends go after work, or you
Yeah.
guys meet up before work, or
Maybe-
you go on a Saturday
Yeah.
for like a mommy day out type of thing.
Yeah,
You go there instead of getting coffee. Maybe you guys all go do spinning.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. That's fantastic. Go be active, go have fun, go be social, go do whatever you want. However, we are just coming from a standpoint of saying that if you are looking for individual results, you aren't going to find them there. Right?
Well,
I mean,
yes,
you're
and,
just
and
not.
again, and you also forgot to add in that if you want to make it look like you're physically active, but yet not do a lot of work, you could also go there and kind of like hide. They offer an opportunity for people to hide.
Yeah.
Right. And this is, and that's not,
Yeah.
again, I'm the one who has to come in and just be negative and crap on stuff. But we have to.
But regardless if you're hiding, if you take a selfie and you
Yes, of
and you
course.
post it
You
on
were do-
social media,
You were doing something.
you're way better than everybody
Yeah,
else.
you
So
were.
you're
You were doing something. So.
you're super active and fit.
So that is
And you're
my,
amazing.
you made some good points there, and that is my main concern with the group environment is A, how do you track progress? B, how do you make a workout applicable to a wide swath of people all at the same time? Because
Yeah.
where we're gonna come from on the individual side of things is we're gonna say, okay, well, everybody's different, meaning no two spines are the same length. I might be tall, you might be short, limb length differences. Differences in how conditioned someone is. We already talked about that earlier, right?
Yep.
So if I say barbell squat, well, a barbell squat affects a person who's 6'5" differently than it affects a person who's 5'3".
Absolutely.
So the job of the trainer is then how do I put together all of these movements in a class to where everyone can get benefit from them? And the problem with the group environment is that you will see, usually again, to bring up the 12-week rule, usually after 12 weeks, the results go bleep,
Yeah.
because individualization has to come into play. You eventually have to say, okay, well, when I squat, because I'm so tall, my lower back sucks. And let's just say you're short, even though you're not, we're about the same height, we'll just pretend. Your upper back is weak. Well, how do you address upper back weakness, and how do I address lower back weakness in the same class when everybody has to do the same thing?
Yes.
So you
How can you address weaknesses on an individual basis?
Yes, so this is
within a group.
So this is where, as you see people who live in groups, and we have had some of them come through our facility where their only fitness experience was groups, they have massive, massive holes in their fitness game
Yeah.
that have to be addressed. So is it but what? Okay, now let's take it, and I'll give it back to you here in a second. Group training is a good introduction to fitness for some people.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because let's face it, the
Yeah.
fitness industry is full of assholes and full of people
Yeah.
who are pricks.
It can be super intimidating.
It's
to
super
walk into a
intimidating,
gym.
especially as a, now as a male, have I ever felt intimidated in a gym? No. Okay, but
No, but as a
female, for
I
sure.
can say it can be very intimidating, especially if you're starting from the ground up. Maybe you don't really have the confidence to know exactly what you need to do or what you want to do or how to do it, and all you know is,
yeah, because most people's first
Susie at the school looks like she's in really good shape, and she says, yeah, I go and I lift weights. And then you go to the gym and you think, okay, well, I need to start lifting weights. And then you look over in the corner where all the dumbbells are, and
There's a
you're
guy- yeah.
you're immediately like,
yeah, there's guys.
I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick over here to this treadmill and walk to death, and think that I'm gonna get the same results.
Yeah.
But it's more comfortable, right? There's a little bit of a cage around me, and I got like personal space. I can just kind of like sit back.
Yeah, and I mean today that's the thing is
Yeah.
the big box gym is going to throw you to the wolves. There's no instruction.
Yeah.
You go back by the weights. You got guys.
Well, and
They're-
if you do
you know,
want
they're-
instruction, you're going to get pounced on with sell.
True.
Well, I've already spent X amount on my membership, and now just because I asked for help, now they're trying to shove personal training down my throat, and they're trying to shove extra
Yeah.
classes
Sure.
or whatever. And it's like, and then you get to a point where you don't even want to walk in the front door because they're gonna try and sell you on something.
Yeah, so I think that
And nobody wants that.
yeah, I think the biggest thing. So the environment of a big box is kind of not conducive for women, especially now. Granted, are more women than ever before in human history lifting weights, strength training? I would say yes. Okay, but they have had to overcome. It's 2019, so I would say that if this was 1980, I'd say the guy in the weird shorts, but now it's the guy in the joggers
Yeah.
and the legging. Guys are wearing leggings. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Nipple tanks, so on and so forth. Intimidating people, screaming, sweating, acting crazy. I mean, yeah, I could see if I
Yeah.
put myself in a female's shoes, I would be like, I don't want to go there. So
Or you get the guy that comes over and gives you the unsolicited advice.
Yes,
the
unsolicited advice guy.
Right? Nobody wants
Yeah.
that either.
yeah,
Like, back up, bro.
yeah, unsolicited advice guy who's
Go
gonna
bro yourself over in the corner.
Yes,
It's fine.
He's gonna give you advice on how to squat
Yeah.
with legs that look like he's never squatted a day in his life.
Yeah.
But that's okay. So now, the group environment is welcoming to those people because let's face it, you can fade into the background.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Depending upon how many people are in a class, like you have some of these. I remember when I worked at big box gyms. I mean, these spinning classes, you had 40 seats in a class. So this is the teacher problem of how do you zone in on one person in
Yeah.
a group of 40? I mean, your attention is divided a
Well,
lot.
yeah. As the trainer, as
Yes.
the instructor, they're hoping that everybody's following along. But let's face it. I mean, it's like, right.
Yeah, you got some people are
you
training
just
super free.
can't.
Yeah, some people are training super. It's like any classroom. Some people are training super hard. Some people are, and then you got the people in the back row on their phone.
Yeah.
So it's but that could be a good thing because that person is not looking to have a spotlight put on them in the beginning because the confidence level is low.
Yeah.
And then lest we also forget a lot of group trainers make the mistake of making the group training workout their workout.
Yeah. Well,
So,
a lot of the trainers aren't getting paid. They are getting a free membership. So you got to keep that into
So this is
consideration and keep that in mind also, is that your instructor may have just been somebody next to you last week, but decided, hey, I can do this, and they took the free membership and said, hey, I'll run the class for you and you don't have to pay me, just let me come and work out.
Well, isn't that one of the critiques of, I mean, the easiest ones to pick on, like, okay, spinning is super popular still, I don't know how, but still,
Spinning's awesome.
wow. The camera, wow, how unprofessional are we? Sorry about that. It just fell.
Well, if you stop kicking the thing,
Oh,
it would
sorry.
be okay.
Sorry. Okay, anyway, we're back. So what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted by that unprofessional camera work.
You kicked it yourself.
Did I?
Yeah.
Sorry. So was that in the spinning's the easiest to pick on because it's probably still, even though CrossFit is big, or was big and is now in a decline, whatever. Spinning might still be the most popular group class, and it might be the group class that people think of the most when you say group training. They go, "Oh, spinning."
Well, because
It
I
might
think
be.
most
It might
big
be.
box gyms have
Have
a spinning room.
Yes. So let's pick
So-
on. So let's use spinning as an example, and let's pick on spinning for a second. Okay. So if you're looking at things and you're looking to, like how we do it here, we manage variables. We constantly progress. So minute breaks turn to 45-second breaks, turn to 30-second breaks, 5 pounds turns to 10 pounds, 10 reps turns to 12 reps, so on and so forth.
Yes.
How are you managing variables in a group dynamic with 40 people? Okay, so
Okay.
there's no, because everything in the spinning class, and this is the danger, and that's why it's, the instructor really isn't an instructor because they're not monitoring anything, because they can't monitor anything.
Right.
Because everything goes off of, if we wanted
They're
to,
just delegating tasks.
well, if we wanted to, we would call it perceived efforts.
Okay.
So, in the fitness industry, if you were a bodybuilder, perceived efforts would be how loud you scream. Right? I mean, I'm not trying to be funny, but like, screaming, I mean, wow, that looked really intense. Intensity is measured by like how much noise you make and how hard you slam dumbbells and how much of an idiot and an ass you make out of yourself in front of other people. Right?
Okay.
If you were into cardio, you would measure, maybe you would go off of heart rate, which we're not gonna go into that. I could rip on that for an hour and a half, but we'll keep it simple. So how are you in the class gonna say, well, as you're the instructor, well, Ken looks sweaty. He looks like because I'm vested in you being successful, right?
Okay.
Okay, so like, how am I gonna gauge if Jen is doing what she's supposed to be doing? Well, is she sweating? Is she making noises? Does she look like she's pedaling real fast? There's no data being gathered. You know,
Yeah,
you
the
see what I'm
bikes
saying?
aren't all connected to a screen that the
Yes.
instructor can monitor.
Yes, so if you were in a real professional group class, are you saying right here, you just said it, would you look to be all connected to like a comp train, like how a comp trainer is, where you can see on the wall, here's bike number 5's heart rate.
Yeah, like
Here's how are their
RPMs
RPMs, and I
yeah.
can monitor in real time. I can say, I know you're not going that fast. Pick it up because I can tell,
Yeah.
because I can see your results of your bike on a screen.
Okay.
Versus, okay, turn it up to level 3. It's like, well, what is level 3? That's level 3 fast. Level 3 at 80 RPMs is different
Well,
than
if
level.
okay, and to be perfectly fair, you've never taken a spinning class, so you don't know.
This is
that,
true.
Those things,
And isn't that great?
those things do actually mean something.
I understand that.
So,
yes.
like a level 3 on a spin bike is going to be a specific thing. It's not just a number they throw out.
Yes, but how do
I
you?
mean, it is something.
Yes, but then how do you say, okay, well, as you well know from your vast amount of experience on our bike erg, having the damper set at level 5 and pedaling at 40 RPMs is different than having the damper set on level 5 and pedaling at 90 RPMs.
Right. So again, if you're in a class and a spin bike is gonna have, you're either gonna have a knob, you're gonna have a little switch, or you're gonna have any variation of
Yeah,
that.
they work off of, isn't it?
And it's mostly magnetized, so
Yeah.
you're gonna be working off of that. So they're gonna tell you to go to whatever resistance, and then hopefully a good teacher would tell you where to keep your RPMs, and that's up to you to keep it there.
Oh, okay.
It's not up for them to keep it there. They're telling you, they're
Okay.
instructing you, but it is ultimately up to you to do what they're telling
So
you to
then let
do.
me ask you this question. Let me play devil's advocate for a second. So taking that person that is coming into the gym, they got low self-efficacy, possibly low self-esteem when it comes to themselves in a physical environment. Okay, they might have tons of self-esteem when at work, around a computer, and other whatever. But in the gym,
Okay.
they're not so hot, not confident. They go into the spinning class, so they are expected to be completely on their own and be their own coach
No,
get-
not their own coach, but they are.
Like, we're gonna take their word for it that they're at 80. That's my argument with all of this is,
Well, again, it's not, you're not being told, get your heart rate up to 80%. It is still a tangible thing that you can look at on your monitor. Are you at 40 RPMs? Are you at 50? Okay, now your damper needs to be at 12 at 60 RPMs for the next 4 minutes. Now, is that up to you to make that happen? Yes, it's not up to the trainer. The
And I
trainer's
would
just
say-
telling you where to be.
And-
But the problem is, just hang on. The problem with all of that is, and this is kind of, I think, what you're trying to say without really knowing that you're trying to say it,
Oh, yes.
is,
that's my favorite kind of
Like-
saying. Okay.
yes, let me tell you what you're thinking, is that you, as the trainer, you can tell them till they're blue in the face
Yes.
where to be, but you don't really know if that's where they're at. You don't really know if that's, if the person in the corner is at the 40 RPMs or the 80 RPMs for the next 12 minutes, or if they're at 20 and they're just going to get by, looking at the clock on the wall going, oh, class is almost over, thank God, sucks, or, oh, this is really hard, you know what, this is a lot harder than I thought, or it's the stand up, sit down, stand
Yes.
up, sit down, do it, pump your arms while you're going to try and get that added heart rate. Well, first of all, that's all stupid and you don't need all that crap anyways, if your RPMs are where they're supposed to be on the damper that you're supposed to be at. However, I digress.
Now you're
And
now you're
yeah.
stealing my gimmick. Because I'm supposed to
But-
be the one that craps on everything.
But I think the point is that you're looking for is there is no way for a group trainer to monitor the group so that everybody is doing what she or he or them is telling them to do, telling the group to do. There's no way to monitor that.
Yeah, and that.
So it's up to the individual to carry out the instructions. Well, I think we all know 99% of the people in a class is just going to get by anyways,
Ooh, wow, that was super heat seeking right there.
right? I mean,
And I knew you were gonna say that.
how
That-
many people
okay, but-
how many people do you train one-on-one you're right there one-on-one like this, and they still try and sandbag you or sandbag themselves ultimately
Well,
because
we're not
it's
gonna-
their progress.
We're not gonna call anybody out.
No, I'm not saying
But
names.
that
I'm
is-
saying how many
but
people.
that-
You have
no,
quite a few.
A significant portion of people throughout my career, yes, it doesn't matter. You
Regardless
could be
of how-
screaming in their face with a megaphone. Yeah, they're not gonna do
And regardless of how many people come to you and say, I want X result, and you're gonna go, okay, this is what we gotta do, and they still try and sandbag it.
Okay, so that
is what it is.
Yes,
It's-
so that
it's
is a
just how
glare.
it works.
So that's a glaring issue in that, because from my perspective, you know me better than anybody. I want data. I want progress.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what you're lifting, what's the rest, what's the reps, I want to collect so much
Yeah.
data that I can pinpoint and go, okay, and then obviously more data to manipulate to get people better results.
Yeah.
Okay, so to be fair, maybe we could say the pro of group training, to kind of full circle it here, it's a good introduction.
Yeah,
It's not that hard.
it can be fun.
Okay, so, and I got news for you.
It can
If
be
you're doing,
social.
I got news for you. If you're doing something for an hour, it's not that hard.
True.
Straight. Okay, so that's my heat. That is my last heat-seeking comment. If you're doing, intensity trumps duration. So if you're
Yeah.
doing something for an hour straight, it ain't that hard. That's another podcast for another
true.
day. So good introduction to training, possibly, depending upon who your teacher is. You can kind of take it easy and go and build your skill level up, and then maybe
You can
Oh, but-
kind of go at your own
Yes,
pace.
but all roads lead to individualization. The final destination of training is,
if
individualization.
results, like real, true, body-altering, mind-altering results are
Yes, and
your
this is
goal.
yes, and this is why you
Yes.
would call to finish up my last point, because you're the one who everyone wants to hear talk. to finish up, I would call group training not even group training. I would call it a group workout because there is a difference between working out and training.
Absolutely. I can agree with that point.
So there you go. So that's it. So it's buyer beware. If you're gonna go to a group class, make sure that your instructor is instructing you and it's not their hour to work out and they're going like a maniac on the bike or on whatever they're doing or the cardio.
Yeah, I mean,
Drumming.
go into it.
I'm drumming.
Okay, that's not even how it works. If
That's right. I've never taken a cardio drumming class either.
Kenneth at the holisticrevolution.com. If you want to take a group class, go ahead. Go into it knowing what you're getting, what you're not getting. Go into it educated. Know that you're probably not going to get huge results with it. And if you do get some results, they are going to dwindle probably pretty fast. There's nothing wrong with them, so to speak. It's just a difference of.
Yes, and one
It
final
is what it is.
one final point because you just jogged my memory.
Murmur?
Yeah, my murmur. You just jogged my murmur, and and I want to say very quickly, and I'm not going to name the Facebook pages, but when you hear people online on social media asking about training, and they're saying, can anyone recommend a personal trainer? This gets my goat so bad.
Yeah.
I got to bring it up in the last minute here. And they say, Jen, can you recommend me a personal trainer? And then the Facebook comment section gets flooded with
Group
classes.
Yeah.
That's not personal training.
Yeah. There's
That's
nothing personal
There's
about
nothing
it.
personal
Yeah.
about it. It's not one-on-one. There's no long-term monitoring of results. There's no assessing. It's a freaking workout.
Yes.
That's it. I'm done.
Correct. Buyer beware. Know what you're doing. Know what you're getting into. You want to go and have fun? Go have fun. And just leave it at that. Right?
There you go. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, I think we're good. I think we summed it up.
This has been the Revolution Approved Podcast, coming to you from the Holistic Revolution in Wyandotte, Michigan. I'm Jen,
I'm Ken.
and that's our very small, slight opinion on group training. If you want to know any more, let us know. If you have any ideas, tips, opinions of your own, let us know. We wanna talk.
Yeah, leave a comment in the comment box. Yeah, I can't talk today for some reason. And go to the link. Go to the what's it called again?
TeePublic.
TeePublic, and buy a shirt.
Get your Holistic Revolution swag. Show the world
that you're just as big of a jerk as we are. And that's it. I'm out. I'm done.
True.
We're done, right?
Yes.
All right. See you next week.